We're joined by Jake Smith, fresh from that run at the World Half Marathon Championships. Jake, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm still massively in shock. It was still a crazy moment. Like as soon as I finished across that line, it was quite fun to look back at the race, and the camera got me basically crying on the fence really. And I think it was the first time I ever properly met Seb Coe, and I basically just started crying in front of him. So everything's just surreal at the minute, and I just still really in shock about what happened.
I mean, what was going through your head as you approached the finish line when you got to the line and saw the clock?
I knew, from my training, that I was in really good shape, and it was really good because there was a massive group and I had to do none of the work. And we went through, I got a 10K PB along the way. We went from 28:20 or something, and I basically, apparently, I gave a thumbs up to one of the coaches saying I'm still in this, and I was absolutely loving it. And I knew I was on course for a really big time because I still felt really strong. And it was one of those where when the group went, there was still a few stragglers, so I was just working off them. And then when I saw the time at 20K, and it was like there was a downhill onto the seafront, I just knew I was going to run a really quick time. And then to see 150 meters go around that corner onto the finishing straight, I basically started tearing up from there really, and just couldn't believe it.
I know obviously when we spoke earlier this year, you said 61 low was going to be a target. So had lots changed kind of in the last couple of months to make you feel like that was well within reach as well?
Yeah, so I still, today, there's still the ultimate goal was to get as close to 61 really. And it was one of those things when this last week it was like the first week I've properly tapered for a race, whereas the other races I've done this year, I haven't really tapered for. I've just trained through because I knew this was the big one. And fortunately it was on, and this morning, we woke up and I'm sharing with Mo Adden, and he's a really nice guy and we get on really well. And we just chilled out until the race. And then when I did the warm up, did a few strides, I just felt great really. And I just really prepared myself going to the mood before the race. And luckily it wasn't a very quick start. So we could just hang on as much as we could. And I think I made the TV quite a bit because I stayed with the front group and I just wanted to see how much coverage I could almost get.
Well, in terms of coverage, I think you're probably going to get quite a lot more after this. I mean, the time, obviously, it puts you third on the UK all-time list, behind a certain Mo Farah and Callum Hawkins. I mean, that's pretty good company to be keeping. And obviously that Welsh record was held by Steve Jones as well. So, pretty big names that you're up amongst there.
Yeah, it was because Robert Hawkins is here as our coach, and he's been absolutely incredible this whole weekend. He's really helped me. And we had a chat afterwards, and we were saying, because Callum was originally in the team and he pulled out, unfortunately, last week, and was saying it would have been amazing if he was there because he could have, the times these guys were running, he could have run an absolute disgusting time, and which would have, top 3 score, which would have put us up quite a bit higher. And it was a shame he couldn't do it, and we were all really looking forward to him. And to now be behind those 2 athletes is just amazing, really.
And so can you just kind of talk us through the race? I know, obviously, it was a big moment for you anyway, pulling on that GB vest. Were there kind of nerves, or were you kind of just ready to basically prove what your training had put that all into practice, really?
Yeah, I was saying to my coach, this last week has been one of the longest weeks of my life because you're just constantly waiting for it. And after my last session on Tuesday, I was like, I'm feeling good. I just need to take these next 3 days really easy, just make sure my legs are fully recovered. And we got into the when we arrived here, we went around some of the course, and I was thinking it was really windy when we came here on Thursday, and luckily today there was hardly any wind at all. And I just couldn't believe it. Like I said before, I was really lucky because the front leaders, they never really went off very fast. It was only until the 3rd lap when they put a big surge in, and the fact that I was working basically to my limit, whereas these guys had run a lot quicker over a 10K or something like that, so they would still had something in it. And for them to drive me all around to about 15K, I just had to do the last 6K by myself. And for some of the guys who went with the front group for the last 5K, I was just trying to kick on and just trying to catch each one of them. And it worked, really.
And so since when we spoke for your 10,000 metre time trial, which you obviously ran a fast time, and I think that kind of proved to you what you might be capable of, because obviously you did it after a challenging build-up with lockdown and everything.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what this summer has been like for you since then? You know that you were obviously pacemaking at the London Marathon as well, and what you've done in preparation specifically for today.
So the London Marathon really gave me really helped me actually mentally and physically, because I felt amazing on the day, and I went to 14 miles, and to pace to 14 miles going through halfway in 63:45, and I felt really, really good. It gave me it motivated me for this weekend, because I knew like that was 2 weeks ago. I was like, okay, I'm in really good shape. I just need to make sure I keep these next 2 weeks chilled, make sure I don't like injure myself, don't do anything silly. And training's been amazing. I've followed a similar program to what I have done before, just increase the reps, and I've noticed that all my times this training block have been a lot quicker than when I ran at the big half in France. So I knew there was a big time waiting for me, and to come away with like you said a 60:31 is just something else.
And coach must be very pleased as well. Have you spoken with him yet?
Yeah, I gave him a call. He was the third person call after my parents, and I just called him at when we were having food, and I couldn't have done it without him, or like without Kieran Lewis, who I live with. Like those two have really, really helped me. Like in training, me and Kieran have been doing everything together, and Fee's been there. Like Wales has been like restricted with a lot of lockdowns and stuff. Fortunately, we have been able to see each other for training, and he's been at pretty much every single training session. So he's made sure I've got to this race day as fully fit as I can. Living with Kieran, he's made sure like my diet's been on point. I'm making sure I'm recovering well. So it's just been incredible, the support I've had from those two.
And you talk about that coaching support there. How about the support of the team that you were part of today? There seemed like there was kind of like a really good team spirit amongst you guys.
Yeah. So I haven't really met any of them before. So I've only known, I knew Clara from the girls team in Cardiff, because she's from Cardiff, and then I know Becky because we've been to a few cross country races together, and Chris I've met a couple of times. But like I said in the interview, I couldn't have asked for better teammates almost. They've just been so good to me and stuff. And we got a really good photo with Cheptegei at the very end, all five of us with basically the 5K and 10K world record, and it's just everyone's just gone. So as soon as we crossed the line, we were all like talking about it, all giving each other a big thumbs up and stuff. And even to finish 10th as a team at World Champs, considering like how young we are, and we've never really, like Adams, this is his second ever half marathon. Tom Evans has stepped down. Mo's only done a few before. Chris is like just come back from injury. So just to come 10th basically in the world as a team is incredible.
So how do you reflect on this year as a whole? Like if you had to kind of sum it up, everything that you've accomplished, how would you?
I think the big word is fortunate. I've been so lucky for this race to be on, because I've felt for so many people that all their races have been cancelled, and I can't exactly understand what they've gone through. That must be horrible. So I think the big word for me is fortunate. I've just been so lucky to have this race, like to have British champs, podium 10K, put a 10K on for us. And I've just been lucky with how my training's gone. Lockdown, like I've said before, was a bit of a blessing in disguise for me, because I was basically training and recovering so well. So yeah, those are two words. Like it has been a blessing in disguise, and just I've been so fortunate, really.